Hello, everyone. It's the Rebecca, and tonight we're going to talk about the royal family. Ooh. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to come to you with the visuals that you might want to see because the message is more important than that. So, if you don't want to watch Meghan stare at Harry so lovingly, then just close your eyes or look at something else. Okay, let's go. There's so much to talk about right now with this situation. I don't even know where to start because, wow, they just dropped a bombshell with this interview that they did, or not interview, documentary that they did with Netflix. And I have to start out by saying I'm not really into the whole royal family fandom, whatever you want to call it. It's not my culture. I'm an American, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. So this whole thing and the whole thing about curtsing, all that, it's just like foreign to me, okay? I'm going to just start out by saying that. But I think I took interest in it, like a lot of people, because of Meghan Markle being a woman that is biracial. So, of course, a woman like me, that is a woman that is of color, I did take some interest in this whole, and not just her being of color, but her being an American as well, and this whole love affair and this whole thing with the Meghan Markle joining the royal family. So this is what I want to talk about and my thoughts from what I saw of the documentary, of everything, and hopefully I can articulate it the best way I can because I have been drinking a few glasses. Chardonnay as usual, as I always like to do. And always have my puff, right? So let's get started talking about this. Everyone, and I am not in favor of the royals. So if you came here looking for that support, then just get the fuck out because it's not gonna happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not in the future, not ever. Not gonna happen. No, I am not one to be fooled. I know the history of the royal family. I can say that. Okay, let's get us started. That's my best, I guess my best accent on the British. Okay. I want to start out by saying I always have felt like I had like a closeness with the British, and I always want to move there. I always thought they were like so forward thinking. I just thought they were more progressive than the United States, and I thought that they were better in some ways than the United States. And it's like all of those illusions that I had of what I thought the culture was there has come crashing down. And I used to want to live there at one point in time because my idol, Jimi Hendrix, lived there at one point in time. And I thought that it was a really good place to live, and I love the music and the culture and the food and that fashion and everything. I'm like, but now, no. Hell to the no. I'd rather deal with the devils that I know than the devils that I don't know. And those are devils that I don't know and that I didn't know really existed. And it is showing in some ways in the royal family, and not just because of the whole race aspect. That is a small part of it. It's a part of it. But it's mostly because of the toxicity. And I didn't realize that the whole royal family was presented to be a soap opera in so many ways. And that's almost what it feels like and seems like. This whole thing that they collaborate and conspire to be for this whole media fixation. There's this whole media fixation behind it that everyone is missing, because they're so focused on the narcissism of Meghan and Harry. Well, if you're focused on that, then you're missing some different aspects of it, because that does exist. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to gaslight you like the British media is probably gaslighting you right now, telling you that they are so right. And the whiner and the grinder, whatever they call them, they're wrong. The miner. No, it's not the miner. It's the ginger and the whinger or some shit like that. God, you guys and your silly nicknames, and you call us Americans daft. Well, there you go. No. You can't put all of your toxicity on Meghan Markle. Come on now. We all know about the history of the royal empire and what they've done, the colonization, the history of that. So, come on now. If anything, you brought yourselves down. You can't put this on Meghan Markle and say, oh, she's trying to bring us down. She's bringing down. Wait. Let's just backtrack this for a minute. Okay? Everyone's making Harry look like the victim. Poor Harry, he didn't know anything. Meghan Markle came along and put her magic on him. That Markle Sparkle manipulated him and made him a hero to her will. But that's not how it goes down. I believe that Prince Harry has some responsibility to take in this as well. And I think Prince Harry is more manipulative than you think. Let me tell you why. Because I think that he knew what was going to happen when he brought Miss Markle into his world. This woman that is a divorcee of a certain age that is biracial. He knew that would overshadow his brother. And maybe there is some type of sibling rivalry going on. Who knows? Probably, no one is looking at it from this way or this aspect from it. From a Harry point of view, of Harry being the biggest chess player. They're all looking at Meghan because that's what we are trained to do, is blame the woman, Eve was the one that made Adam eat the fruit. So Meghan was the one that took poor Harry away. Even though he said in the documentary it was his idea and he wanted to leave, and that Meghan did not want to leave. He wanted to leave. And I don't blame him. Okay? I don't blame him. Because he wanted some sunshine. And England looks pretty drab. And I thank God I did not move there, because my hero, Jimi Hendrix, that I love so much, he died there. And baby, there's a reason why. He was probably depressed and sad being there around a whole bunch of bitter-ass people. And we think Americans are so bad. You know what? There is some truth to this. Even in the whole I'm digressing, the Brittany Griner thing. America isn't so bad after all, because we're not surrounded by a bunch of fucking uptight ass people that are so invested in these royals, watching them like a soap opera, that they pay this money for this soap opera. You pay this money for this show. They are the original reality show, the first reality show. The royal family has always had cameras watching them and everything that they done. They are the ones that were living on camera before anyone else. Before the Kardashians existed. And no offense to Meghan Markle, but she kind of is the Kardashian of the royal family, because She's a celebrity. And I guess William and Kay would be like the Beyonce and the Jay-Z. And, they have this whole thing they all work so hard to do and be. And here this person just come in, and gets in by popularity and beauty. And you're like, what are you doing here? You don't belong with us. What are you doing here sitting with us? Yeah, that's probably how they feel. And that's probably how Beyonce and Jay-Z and them felt when Kim Kardashian was sitting next to them. It was like, why are you in here again? Wait, what? Well, you want to talk to us about what? What? Crickets. Yeah, that's how it probably is. And Harry was the one that manipulated that. He was the one that brought Meghan into the family. He was the one that knew what was going to happen. He was the one that saw what happened with his mother. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to have the shine on himself, the light on himself, the lime on himself. And that's what they're all obsessed with. It's the limelight. It's about the front page. It's about who can get the most tabloids. It's this weird fame obsession. And they're all narcissists. Including, in my opinion, Hagen. I am drinking, you guys. Sorry. And I am kind of a little tipsy. Just a little bit. Meghan and Harry as well. They have very narcissistic traits. The whole documentary that they made was just like blaming everybody. There was no self-accountability or responsibility for anything that they have ever done. It was just like, oh, we're blaming. It was just everyone else. And everyone has something to do. I mean, there's some times where you're targeted because of how you look and how beautiful you are and how smart you are. But there's also something called humility. And that's something that neither one of them know anything about. And they need to learn about that. Because it's a very valuable, wonderful thing to have. Just saying to the both of you, you might want to take some lessons on that. So, yeah. They need to have some humility. They don't have that. There's something in the Bible that talks about that. Humble thyself. I don't know if they're Christians, but there's some quote about that, about being humble. I can't think of it right now, but it's really in correlation to this whole fiasco scenario. I don't know, what do you call it? This whole thing that's going on. People saying that they're going to destroy the royal family. I don't believe that they have the power to do that. If anything, if the royal family is destroyed, it's because they destroyed themselves. And you have to take some accountability yourselves for what you've allowed to keep this whole facade going, this whole monarchy, this whole show, this whole pomp and circumstance, this, everything. To keep going on, you have this whole toxic relationship with the media. To feed them stories. To be in the limelight. Because that's what you thrive on. And I believe they were jealous of Meghan coming into the picture because she got a lot of press. And I'm not saying it was just like Kate and William, like people think automatically. It was probably them as well, but it was probably also other people in the family. It's a big ass family. Those Brits get around. I bet you, and if you take a blood test right now, a DNA test, you're gonna have some Britain in you. I guarantee you. Because the Brits are the biggest head in the world. I'm just saying, use a hoe. I said that use hoe. So yeah. It is what it is. They was getting down with everybody, the Brits. They get down. Everybody got some British in them. So we can all criticize the British because we all probably have it in us. So here it is. Let's let it go. Whole thing, I don't want to criticize the whole family, but the whole curtsy thing. Let's talk about that. That was a big part of the documentary was Meg saying that the way that she cursed to the queen. I didn't know anything about cursing, really, to be honest with you, before this documentary. I didn't know that that was something that they did because I'm an American. I just don't give a shit. And maybe it's me in my small American world. Not saying that I'm not like cultured or anything, because I am, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but now that I see it was. And I think that Meghan should have apologized to the British people for hurting their feelings, because they were really offended by that, and it really hurt them so much. So she should have said something about that, how she didn't mean to hurt them, and just humble yourself, you know. There's something I would rather boast about my weaknesses. Okay, I don't want to get too religious on y'all, so I'm just together. So let's just look through the notes. So yeah, Harry married this woman from America that was not only mixed race, divorced, but a feminist. And you guys are acting like he didn't know what he was doing. He married this feminist woman. I think he knew that she was going to expose his family. I think Harry probably knew it. He saw some things. And he knew that marrying a woman like Meghan would help him a lot. It actually helped him more than anything. It helped her too a lot. It helped both of them equally. But it helped him a lot. And it benefited him a lot because he married this woman that gave him relevancy and gave him appreciation just because of her culture and her ethnicity. So that was a chess move on his behalf. He's not the poor victim that's being separated from his family. She's being separated from her family as well. She doesn't talk to her father. And let's talk about another thing as I go through my notes. I think a lot of white women are afraid that biracial black women are going to probably take their men. That's probably a reason why they're panicking, and there might be some jealousy and resentment, and that, hey, if you're getting mad, then, like they say, a hit dog will holler. If you're not getting mad, then you're not threatened, and you don't care. But I think they might be a little bit, because you see her there, and you see, and not even just biracial women, but you see Serena with her Caucasian husband. And I think that might make some women of a certain color feel a little bit of intimidation, maybe. I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, because none of you ever say anything. So yeah, people talk about this being a reality show, the Netflix thing being reality. The whole freaking, in my opinion, British thing, that's a reality show. They don't express how they feel in front of people, but they'll go to the, allegedly, they'll go to their royal experts and talk to them about whatever's going on in the British family, I guess. Right? That's what they do. They go and talk to... I know my British accent is quite horrible and hideous, but I'm an American. I'm proud to be an American. Or at least I know I'm free. Oh, okay. I think I've been drinking a little too much Chardonnay. But yeah, let's try to get through this list. Oh, Prince Andrew. Is that what Meghan was talking about when she said this distractions that they would have, with her ribs? Was it distract from the Prince Andrew thing? Because we know that was a big media story. I don't know if the royal family ever really commented on that or said anything about it, but him and his, love affair of young people was... I am not for the royal family, just to be clear with you. I don't give a fuck about them either way it goes. Sorry if you're from Britain, England, or wherever, and you feel offended. I don't mean to offend you. I just don't care. It's not a part of my life, and I just don't give a shit about it that much. I just care, probably because he's with an American. If he wasn't with an American, I wouldn't give a shit. And he probably made a really calculated move. Just saying. Haha. Yeah. Um, just going down the list. I don't know. Maybe these two are twin flames. We've heard about that thing. It actually seems like a real thing because they both were cut off from both of their families. It wasn't just her cutting off him from his family. She was cut off from her father and her, for according to her family. Her siblings cut off from them as well. And according to the documentary, her niece. So, I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, and I don't know a lot about narcissism on that level to evaluate that, but, do what you will with that. I think that at the end of the day, Harry didn't want to be in his brother's shadow. Did Meghan Markle probably want to curse to Kate Williams every day and walk behind him every day and do all that? No, they didn't. And they did not want to do it, so that's why they went west. They want to go west. That's where the freedom is. That's where they went. Had the freedom to be what the fuck you want to be and do what you want to do, and that's what they're going to do. And they are going to do it, and I believe that I hope they do good things. I know there's some backlash against them because of the whole environmental issues, and they need to address that hypocrisy because that is hypocrisy in some ways. But in some ways, it's not. If they fly in private jets, if her life is being threatened, as she says, then it would make sense. That would be justified, right? To ride in private jets and be away from the public that hates you. If you were hated by the public so much, then why would you want to be around them? So they can easily justify that whole private jet thing for all the environmentalists out there. That can be justified for security reasons. We'll see what they do. If they're going to do, if just more, what was me, or if they're going to rise above this, because it's time to rise above. And yeah, they probably been through some shit. I can't judge them. I don't know what they've been through. But one thing that makes me mad is when people compare her to Amber Heard. She is not like Amber Heard. Amber Heard is a nasty, trash, trailer gut, trash, doing drugs, all kinds of drugs. Okay? I don't think Meghan Markle has a history of doing drugs, so don't compare her to Amber Heard. Okay? Just saying. I mean, a lot of celebrities are narcissists. You're going to compare her to Amber Heard of all of them. Amber Heard, too. Pooping on the bed. I don't think Meghan Markle would do that. But she might come out in some years saying that Harry manipulated her. Because in some ways, I feel like he did. And I think he wanted to get free from his family. He wanted to get free. He wanted to control his destiny. He didn't want to live in the shadow of his brother. It's not all just Meghan that wanted. They both have their own agendas. And what they wanted, she wanted probably the lifestyle, the whole limelight, the fame, and he wanted more fame than his brother. And he got that. And his brother probably got mad, and it's probably why they had the media make all the bad stories about them, which they did do. I believe that they did do that. It sounds very feasible to me that they did it. And that it happened. Because his family is relying on the media to keep them alive, to justify why the public pays so much money. This family is a distraction. And to end this video, I'll never forget what David Icke said. Call me crazy, call me what you want, but don't call me late for dinner. David Icke said that they were reptilians, and hey, maybe there's some truth to that. Isn't there some story about some children being missing? Because somebody elaborate on that in the comments. Is that a myth or is that true? So let's get to that. We all know how they treated Diana, and Harry knew how they treated his mother, and he still brought this woman into his family knowing what was going to happen at the end of the day. So he has some responsibility. Don't put it all on Meghan. If anything, they're both responsible. So let's just acknowledge that. Everybody have a good night. Bye.